The M2 driver is built for speed and distance. The weighting in this head has been optimized by the engineers at TaylorMade to deliver optimum performance, but there is still plenty of adjustability in this hosel here to do things like raise and lower the loft, give the driver a draw or fade bias, and change the amount of spin the driver puts on the golf ball. So let's break it all down very simply to help you set up your M2 driver to best suit your game. First of all, let's look at the opening and locking mechanisms of the screws. Now, to open or loosen the shaft screw in your driver, simply place the wrench inside the screw top and turn it anti-clockwise as so. To tighten the screw, you turn it clockwise. Now the screw, when fully tightened, it makes an audible click to let you know that the screw is safely in place and to prevent over tightening. There it is. So let's go ahead and open this shaft screw completely. Now when fully opened, the head can be easily removed from the shaft. Let's see, can we do it here? And when you do that, you'll notice numbers and settings on the tip of the shaft. These indicate some of the different loft, lie and face angle options you can choose. Now TaylorMade use what is called a 4-degree tip adapter in their drivers, and when you get the driver, when it's manufactured at the time of assembly, the shaft will be set in the standard loft position, or STD loft you'll see on the shaft here. So this being a 10.5 degree driver, when the standard loft is lined up with this little arrow here, the loft is 10.5 degrees. The lie angle is a standard 56 degrees and the face angle is square. Now there are actually 12 different little notches or movements on the sleeve, and each one increases or decreases the loft by a half or 3/4 of a degree. So what happens if we reduce loft? So if we rotate the shaft all the way to the lower position here, this effectively reduces the loft of the driver by 2 degrees. So it then sets up effectively like an 8.5 degree driver. At this setting, the face is also going to be 4 degrees more open than normal, and the lie angle is going to be a little bit more upright at 58 degrees. So what it's really going to do is put a fade bias or left to right trajectory on any shots. At this setting, it'll also reduce the amount of spin the driver imparts on the ball by about 400 RPM. Now conversely, if we rotate the shaft all the way to the higher position and attached it lined up with the arrow, this effectively increases the loft of this 10.5 degree driver to 12.5 degrees. In doing this, you also shut the face 4 degrees more closed than normal. Again, the lie angle is a little bit more upright at 58 degrees, and this time you add about 400 RPM of spin to your shot. So this will really put a draw bias or right to left bias on your driver. Now you don't have to adjust all the way to the lower or higher positions. You can adjust incrementally along these little notches here in between to make these changes more gradually and more subtly. Now if you spin the tip adapter through 180 degrees, you'll see this little marking here which says UPRT or upright lie. Now if you secure the driver into this position, the loft is back at standard, that is 10.5 degrees again, but now the club sits 4 degrees more upright and the lie angle has changed from its 56 degrees at the start to now its maximum 60 degrees. You'll find that this sets the club up for a draw, but it's a lot more subtle than in this higher setting. Again, from this upright lie setting, you can make the loft lower or higher incrementally to make subtle changes. So that is how to adjust your M2 driver, and it's worth your while having a little play with the different settings to really appreciate the results. It could potentially solve your hook problem, correct your slice, or maybe even gain you 10 or 20 extra yards off the tee just by finding the setting that you like, or having a lesson or a TrackMan session with your PGA professional. And it's very important to remember that you can adjust your driver on the range or at any time before or after your competitive round, but just not during it. For me, for now, it's Donal, out.